right, y'all. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Misha from A Moment with Misha, and I am so honored to be back again for another episode. And I have the pleasure of interviewing Miss Stephanie from Bad Girls Club. Thank you so much for taking your time out. And I know you're super busy, so thank you so much for.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on the show. You know, without these interviews, without you guys, nobody would care.
Oh, no, that's not true. Because you were on the impactful season of Bad Girls Club.
Hello, kings and queens. This is Maria Puñeta Chancueta Chupacabra del Barrio, and it is Cinco de Mayo.
Aww.
You guys are awesome. So I want to start, from the beginning. Just kind of talk about Bad Girls Club. So how did you know about it? Did someone tell you about it? How did you even get to, interview with Bad Girls Club?
So I had auditioned for another season with my friend Evelyn, the one who came on the show. We were going for a best friend season they were trying. Mm-hmm. And we went to an audition together in Tampa, and I had gotten a call back, and I was on Skype with them, and there was a hurricane and the power went out in the middle of my Skype interview. So that was my one interaction with them. And then 2 years later, they called me for this season, and they had just reached out to me about it. And I didn't even I was like, are you sure? How'd you get my number? I didn't know what was happening. Mm-hmm. And it was a real thing. And they called me. I went to Miami. I met with a producer. They were like, okay, this is how we're going to bring you in. Brought me to LA, did the final paperwork and everything. And next thing you know, I'm on Bad Girls Club. Ow.
So I know that you came as a replacement to Dream Doll. I know you were her replacement. Were you a little nervous? Because most times on Bad Girls Club, the replacements don't always get the same treatment. Were you well, first off, two questions. Were you nervous to be on Bad Girls Club? And two, were you nervous to be a replacement and coming on?
I wasn't nervous per se because of I was a replacement or even the fact that it was Bad Girls Club. I was just anxious because in general, I am a lot, and my personality, I know I'm obnoxious. I know I can be annoying. I partied at the time. I partied a lot. And when I'm drunk, I'm very obnoxious. And I knew that. So all I was thinking is I hope they can handle me. Mm-hmm. And how in your face I constantly am. I'm like that, and that's a lot for people. So it wasn't really oh, I'm the new girl. It was I hope they can handle me, because at the end of the day, it wasn't about, oh, it's the Bad Girls Club. That was the opportunity, but I wasn't going in there thinking, oh, I gotta be the Bad Girls Club. I was still gonna be myself. So
you're fine. Good. So you didn't get into any fights this season, and I'm so happy about that. Was it tough being in that environment? Were you man, I'm gonna get into some fights, or were you just not worried about that at all?
I was surprised, if anything, that nobody wanted to fight or had issues with me in general, just because I felt they were upset about even pettier and dumber things, in my opinion, than this bitch is loud and annoying and drunk all the time. I'm surprised. I was ready. I was I know somebody gonna want to fight me. They're not gonna like me. I know I'm a lot. So the fact that it didn't happen, I was surprised. Mm-hmm. But I also know I wasn't going in there to prove to anybody. I wasn't trying to go in there and be I'm on Bad Girls Club, so I gotta act this way. You know what I mean? Right. I was always gonna be myself, and if somebody wanted to fight, then I would have fought. But at the end of the day, nobody tried me, or there was no need for it. So why am I gonna just be a bitch? Just start some shit because of the show's connotation.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is a game that I like to play with some of my other guests. So I'm gonna say a name.
Uh-oh.
And you give me one word that describes them.
Okay.
And then if we can sidetrack if we need to. So I'm gonna say Ryan.
Ryan. I would say tough.
Tough.
Yeah.
Okay. Bernicia.
Talented.
Okay.
Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean Sway? Sway. Hard
Sway.
work.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say hard worker, determined,
Winter.
unapologetically herself.
Okay. Candace.
Real.
Real. Okay. I think Cabrina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it a Cabrina on there? Okay, Cabrina.
Uh, mad. I love Cabrina, but she be mad all the time with Cabrina.
Okay, did I miss anybody? Was that everybody?
Kaylee,
Oh, Kaylee, yes.
Z,
Oh, I missed a lot of people.
Tiara, and Tabitha, I believe,
Okay.
were the
So
other.
you were on there when Kaylee was on there?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay, so what about I feel so bad for her.
yeah.
I
So for
feel
Kaylee,
so bad for her. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with sweet. I think she's
Sweet.
a sweet girl, and her intentions were always good, but she didn't defend herself because she's sweet. She's nice. She don't want to go there with people.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna jump sideways because it just popped up in my mind. When the fight happened between because I was just watching it because like I said, I love you guys' season. When the fight happened between Winter and was it uh what was her name? It started with a P. I was just watching it too. Was she bit her finger?
Let go of her hair. Go, bitch.
This bitch did my finger. Don't ever put your finger in my mouth, bitch.
Oh, persuasion, sway.
Persuasion, yes, Sway. So when she bit her, like, who do you think was going home before
I
you knew like she was going home?
I thought it was gonna be sway because of the finger situation, and I
Okay.
said that. You know what I mean? Like you can see, I said that on the show, but I was like, that's a lot.
So who do you think provoked that fight? Was it Sway, or you think it was Winner, or you think it was a little bit of both? Because I think Sway, she was just kind of irritated about Winner's comments and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of both. At the time, I guess Winter was bothering Sway, and maybe Sway came about it a little aggressive. So Winter was naturally going to be defensive, and then Sway just shut up straight up. So, come on, bitch, like throw hands. Like, what do?
Yeah.
You fight. You know what I mean? I don't think it needed to escalate that quickly, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, because they were really close before all that. So I'm like, what happened? Like, what switched for y'all to act this way? So I will say it's a little bit of both, honestly.
Okay. So what I always go into, like when I'm watching these shows, like I'm always on the mind frame of like what was the atmosphere like in the house? Was it just fun all the time? Issues all the time? Like what was it like boring and then fun? Like what was the atmosphere throughout that time?
I feel like everyone had their own experience and their own opinion on how the house felt. I feel like for me, I always was a positive, trying to make everything the best, making fun of everything. But then you have people like Adrian who hated it. She was talking about it all the time. Like she wanted to go home. She didn't want to be house. Like she was really like going through it. Winter said she wanted to go home a lot. Like a lot of girls were handling it different. So I feel like it just depends on the person. In general, I would say one of the things about that house that's really hard is there is zero privacy.
Mm,
Like we don't have bathroom doors. That's a fucking curtain. You know what I mean?
really?
Yeah, there's
Wow.
like no doors, no locks. As far as entertainment, like we don't have the rights to nothing. So we can't be listening to music, we can't be watching shows. They really are trying to just get y'all to interact some way. And that can make people crazy, especially in the generation we live in today, where like everybody's in technology, everybody's on a phone, everybody's on a tablets, computers doing something. So to not have those normal things, I think made people a little like aggressive and angry, kind of like cranky.
Mhm.
like when babies don't have their naps, like that's how we were like
Right.
at, like oh. So, and I
So
feel like dealing with people's like, you gotta, now you dealing with not only your own mess, but you got 6 other girls living in this house, and sometimes that could get to you. Like, I know me, like, that was the hardest part for me. Like, the fucking bathroom, girl, I hated it so much. But at the same time, like, I'm not cleaning your literal shit.
Yeah.
So it was just those little things, I think, and I feel like everyone is gonna have their own opinion on how they personally felt.
Gotcha. So how did you guys feel about like security? Like I always wanted to know, like, was the security outside the house at all times to make sure you guys were safe? Did security stay in the house with you guys and that just was something that we didn't see?
Yeah, there was always security. They're just not on camera, but they were literally, down to the production and everybody. Like, we had our part of the house, and then there's like a downstairs house where everybody, like, they're filming, and we have, our PAs and whatever we got. They were just right downstairs. So security was literally boop, right there. And I feel like they definitely did their job. I do feel like they always let you just tussle a little bit just for the show, and then they'll come and break it up.
Gotcha.
But they were
So
always there, yeah.
so did you guys like get allowances throughout, your experience there, or did they just kind of do groceries and you kind of had to figure everything else out on your own?
I mean, I wouldn't say we had like personal relationships with any of the people who were, on production and whatever. Um, there was one particular person who helped out a lot, and she came, and, we knew people, but we were not supposed to have like relationships with them. So they would even tell us, like, don't talk to the camera guys. Don't talk to, like, do your own thing, So we really didn't have like a personal connection like that. I would say there was one production assistant that we absolutely all loved. I won't say no names though, for whatever. But that's about it. It wasn't like really like, even though they were right there, we couldn't talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we had to like literally ignore the cameras.
So did you guys have to buy your own groceries? Like, did they give you money throughout the
Yeah.
time? Okay, they did. Okay.
So we got paid a certain amount a week, pretty
Hmm.
much like a job. And but we still had to like pay for our own stuff. So like if we went shopping, I think they gave us like a few nights where like they paid for dinner, or when we went to the club, sometimes they paid for the VIP service, but sometimes we just paid for it. Like we just wanted to get out and we would just pay for our own stuff. So that's why I'd be like, nobody does this for the money. You could make more money at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely not like, well, I hate when like I see these interviews and girls are like, yeah, after that, like, no, you didn't.
What do you,
Fuck, you did not.
what was your experience? Like, what did you think you wanted to gain out of? Was it just the experience, or was it more notoriety? Like, what did you want to gain from Bad Girls Club?
I know it sounds weird, but since my ratchet ass was a child, okay,
Hmm.
and I'm talking about back like in the early 2000s, like the fucking like late 90s, early 2000s, my aunts and my mom used to watch Bad Girls Club, like when it first came out, like the first seasons. And
Okay.
I just really thought it was a cool show. Like me and my cousins used to watch it behind their back, and we were like, this is so cool. It's just a bunch of girls in a house. And that's what it was. It was the first show that was just about girls. You know what I mean? Like we
Hmm.
never had seen anything like that. And to me, I was like, I really want to be on that show one day. I don't know why. I just feel like it's a empowering show for women.
So no, that's good.
And I definitely thought it would be good exposure. At the time I was modeling and go-go dancing. I was making funny videos on social media, but I didn't have a career in comedy or any of the things I'm doing now. It was just kind of like, why not? It'll be good exposure. It'll help me with my other endeavors. And it did, ultimately.
Oh, good. Um, so who would you say is, well, first of all, are you in contact with anybody now still?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them or like personally had conversations with them, but me and Candace are still cool. Me and Z, I still have love for Z. Even Kaylee, um, Tiara, Cabrina. I don't talk to really any of the other girls, but I wouldn't say I have issues with them. We just fell out. We don't talk. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's okay. But I honestly can say Candy, Z, Kaylee, Cabrina, and Tiara for sure still. Like I still communicate with them and we're still cool.
Gotcha. So how long were you in the house? Like how long was it? Was it like a month, 2 months?
It was about 2 months.
About 2 months.
Maybe a little more, like 2 months and a couple weeks. Because I had gotten there, when I got there, it was literally like the second episode, the third episode, like, so
Yeah, it was
a
third,
lot
yeah.
of time left, and like what's her name had just left, so I was there probably like 2 weeks before they even brought Candace in, so it was a while.
Okay.
I think it was like 2 months and 2 weeks, I want to say.
Okay. So then how long from the time you left, how long was that to the time at the reunion?
Oh, the reunion, I want to say, happened like a month later.
A month?
About a month, I want to say.
Did
Yeah,
you
they brought us back to California to do the reunion.
Were you excited about the reunion? Were you nervous?
I
Were
was excited, I'm always the happy, outgoing, like ready for whatever person. I was excited to see my girls again, my roommates. And yeah, I was really excited for it, honestly. And then when, Tanisha, I never had met Tanisha, so getting to meet Tanisha, that was cool, and Erica Mena. So I was excited for sure.
So I know a couple of the Bad Girls Club right now, like they're doing the Zeus thing on the
Hmm.
Zeus network. Would you ever, if they gave you the phone call, would you be interested in doing that?
Yeah, I would definitely do the spinoff. I would want it to be like, here's the thing. Bad Girls Club is Bad Girls Club. We know it's done. It's over. That's its own thing now, baddies. So I would want it to be like, okay, I want to do the baddies, but like, I don't want this project to stop my other stuff. So like, if we're going to do baddies, let's say baddies Miami, like I would have a stipulation where like, okay, but I'm going to still do comedy shows and I'm still work. And I want y'all to like maybe capture that and put that in there because that's really who I am now. And I think that's
Mhm.
cool to show like what the girls are doing now.
Okay, so I know like with Bad Girls Club, like they did like the redemptions, they did like the therapies. Would you be like, let's just say that they brung it back. Would you be interested in doing those?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I want to go back to because other than the fight between Winter and Persuasion, it was a fight between Bernicia and Candace.
I'm not about to keep doing this with you. Like, I'm not about to keep doing this with you. You never do.
Mhm.
How did that make you feel? Because I know you were very close to both of them, like in the house, and I was so sad about that because I actually liked both of them so much, and I was so sad, like when Candace had brung Bernicia's kids, and she made the comment about it.
Mhm.
Like, how did that? Did the dynamic change in the house after that? Like, how was that in the house?
Honestly, I was like, that sucks. It was actually surprising because they had just like had their whole little fling thing in the
Mhm.
house, and then it just turned around. It was really surprising and weird because like I said, they were all cutesy and whatever, had their thing going. Um, I wouldn't say it really changed much in the house except that Bernicia was gone. You know, we missed her and whatever, she was gone, but we were still like everybody else in the house was cool, and without that weird like, oh, this tension, there was no more like drama.
Mhm.
And I want to say that's honestly why they ended our season, because they were like, well, everyone's getting along, the show's over. Ain't nothing to see here, you know what I mean? They were over it. So she was just missed by some, and by some she wasn't, but honestly everybody else got along after that.
After that one.
So it is what it is.
What would you tell a young lady that, let's just say they brung back, Bad Girls Club? What would you tell a young lady, like some advice you would give to her wanting to get into that?
I would honestly be like, yo, be yourself. I know it's reality TV and you want to put on for the cameras, but there's going to be a time where this is going to be over and you're going to look back and have to answer for your actions. People are going to see this. You don't know for how long, but people will find it and it'll come back to you. So you want to be genuine, and you don't want it to be something that can hinder you from other opportunities. You know what I mean? Like, be yourself, be true, and fuck what people think. Because you could literally be like Beyonce, and even Beyonce has haters. You could be you could be an angel, a nun who does nothing wrong. And even like a nun has to deal with haters. So you might as well do what honestly makes you happy and be who you are, because people are going to judge you for it no matter what.
Yeah. So a lot of times when we look at reality TV, like, well, I could tell this is fake and maybe this is real. What's the percentage of it that you would say is fake and the percent that you would say is real?
Honestly, I can tell you right now, Bad Girls Club. I can tell you Bad Girls Club specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say is like 90% real and 10%, maybe 5% not. And as far as what's not real, I feel like when it comes to the confessionals and the one-on-ones, they can chop things and piece things together, and they can make it seem like a different story, or like maybe you were referring to somebody else. And they just try to make it messy. You know what I mean? It's TV. At the end of the day, it's TV. But I would say about 90-10.
So was there times where you had a set schedule to say, oh, you guys have to go to the confessional now, you have to go in the confessional?
Yeah, every I want to say it was like every week we had to do a whole run through of the week. So at the, like I think it was like every Sunday, we would all go into the confessional for like an hour each and run through everything we just did in the week. And they would ask us questions and feed us things to say sometimes, and blah, 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 blah. And that's how they get their confessionals and their one-on-ones. With the confessionals we were like in that like pink room though, not the green screen one, that they'd be changing the background, the little room, the pink cap. That was we just went in there and filmed ourselves. So so you could just go in there and be like, I just want to get something off my chest, and hit the record button and be like, look, let me tell y'all what happened today.
That one wasn't planned. You guys could go in there as you please. Okay.
But they could still do like editing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people need to understand. Like, you can edit things and piece them to sound different, to look different. You can do things in post editing. So that's why I'm like, it's real. It's not. It's definitely real though. Like the fights, we wasn't preparing for that. That wasn't staged. The altercations were genuine. You know what I mean? So it was real stuff.
Looking back, is there anything that you wish you would have done more of? And do you wish that it was anything that you would not have done?
I wish I would have like done more stuff, like just in general, like gotten out more, done more while in the house. The thing about it is like, you're not allowed to just go and gallivant. Like you're supposed to be part of this. So at one point I was like, can I get a job go-go dancing? Because y'all is not paying me enough. And they were like, no, you can't get a job while filming. Like I wanted to work at the club that we were going to, because that's what I did at home at the time. I was a go-go dancer. I was like, I would beg out here. And they considered it, but they were like, no, we can't, because it's a liability if you hurt yourself in the club while filming the show, blah, blah, blah. But I just wish I would have gotten more out of the experience, like done more stuff, gotten out more with the girls. You know what I mean?
So, question, after, I know they paid you weekly, but then did you still get, another amount, like another check once you left? Is it like...
Yeah, there was like one or two more payments, but that was it. Nobody's getting like, they're not doing the residual thing.
Gotcha.
That's not. And that's why I tell these girls, I'm like, if you're doing it for money, don't.
So I want to go back, because I know you said you were a go-go dancer. Like, how did you start, with that? Like,
I actually started in the industry modeling. I used to do like photo shoots, fashion shows. And then I got a job. I moved to Florida from New York, and I got a job go-go dancing. I didn't even know what a go-go dancer was. It was actually, someone commented on one of my modeling photos on Facebook. That was before Instagram, before Vine. It was like MySpace and Facebook. And somebody had commented on one of my Facebook posts, and they were like, oh, this place is hiring go-go dancers. It pays this much. And I was like, I'm not a stripper.
Right.
It was like, it's not a stripper. This is what they do. And then they sent me like, and I was like, oh, okay. So they were like costumes and stuff, and they dance. They just dance, and I love dancing. I always have. So I went for it, and I got booked. And then at that audition, I had gotten booked for another club while auditioning there. Somebody was like, I really want you to work at this club. And next thing you know, I'm go-go dancing everywhere. That's helping my modeling stuff, blah, blah, blah. So modeling, I did some correspondence in New York. I worked for this local TV show in Manhattan called Signature Hits. And I did like the red carpet interviews, the, the celebrity interviews of like record releases, concerts, festivals. And I interviewed people, fashion shows, whatever. So I kind of did like the E-News thing in New York. But then I moved to Florida, got into go-go dancing, did that for like 8 years of my life while modeling, still being the lunatic that I am and making funny videos just because on the internet, that's just what I did. I was making funny videos at home before social media. Like I made home videos. So I've always done that. It's weird, but I have. And then I got the opportunity to do the Bad Girls Club thing, like I said, with my friend that one time. And then they called me for this season. But it started as a model.
Gotcha. So what's the difference between a stripper and a go-go dancer?
So strippers are definitely more sensual and sexual. They take their clothes off. They can kind of like dance on you. Lap dances, you can like touch them, like on whatever. Go-go dancing is like costumes. Nobody could touch you. There's no like contact. I don't have to talk to you. I literally do my set and go backstage like a performer, you know what I mean? I don't have to socialize and make my money talking to people. Like I don't got to do that. Nobody touches me. I don't have to take clothes off or nothing. So it's just like, it's like a gateway job to stripping.
Okay. Because I didn't know the difference. I didn't know the difference. So I was
I didn't either. Like that's what I'm saying. When someone offered it to me, I was like, I ain't a stripper, but it's not.
So did you go back to it afterwards? After Bad Girls Club? Did you go back to your previous job or you just let it go?
I think I did for like a little bit, but it was getting like kind of hectic because I was getting booked for other things at the time. When I got a Bad Girls Club, I was hot. I was in demand. So I was doing a lot of hostings and photo shoots and campaigns and this. So I had to kind of like take off a lot of time. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm honestly doing okay. I want to move to California. I want to get out of Florida and I want to go to California for more opportunities. And that's what I did.
Okay. So what's present now? So, what are you doing now? I know because you're super funny. Like, are you gonna go into like comedian world? Like, do you do like TikToks? Like, and then your laugh was
TikToks.
iconic.
TikToks are not comedians. Don't you dare put me in the same category as TikTokers. They are taking other people's jokes and lip syncing them, okay?
That's true. That's true. But you would do good on TikTok, I feel.
I honestly, I always, you have to adapt. You know what I mean? Like I talk so much shit about TikTok. Now I'm addicted to TikTok. I'll be on TikTok. I'm growing my TikTok. But right now I really say it's stand-up comedy and writing. I've been a stand-up comedian for almost 5 years now. Ever since I started this journey, it's been like a domino effect. I've been getting booked all the time. Big clubs, small clubs, working with other comedians. I did a special for Dame Dash Network. I filmed another special that's coming out. And now I write my own talk show. I have a talk show called A Sociopath and a Psychopath, which is a parody talk show I do as my character Racheta. And my friend Jacqueline, who's another comedian. And we do like a parody of a daytime talk show. And then I have my late night show that I do Monday through Friday called High O'Clock. So I'm always writing and just in this creative zone. But right now I'm really trying to take it to the next level. So currently, I'm working on a crazy NFT collection so that I could use all that money to invest into pitching a pilot.
Okay. That's what's up.
So that's it. Comedy full time.
So when are you coming to Detroit? Because I'm from Detroit. I'm from the 313. So when are you coming to Detroit?
Well, right now with all this COVID crap, it's been a lot, especially with the vaccine mandates. I don't think anybody should be forced to do anything to themselves. I got one shot of Pfizer and it went really bad for me. Like I fucking died and came back to life, I think, honestly. And it traumatized me. So I don't want to get a second shot. And I feel like the mandate is affecting my bookings, especially in California, because they're really strict about it. Like yesterday, I was filming some pranks with my friend in Hollywood, and they wanted to go get McDonald's, and like you had to be fully vaccinated just to get McDonald's. So it's affecting my bookings. But I do believe that it's going to go back and things will get better. And I'm definitely going to keep doing comedy. You know, I'm still doing it. Yeah, can't stop me. I have a show in Long Beach at the Laugh Factory on February 17th. And I am hosting the Bad Girls boxing event. We were supposed to do it today, matter of fact, was supposed to be, and then it got canceled because, like I said, COVID, all kinds of nonsense. So they're postponing it to March, but I am hosting the Bad Girls boxing event in Houston. So stay on the lookout for that. People can come to the live event or they can watch the pay-per-view. But yeah, just follow me. I have a website, stephanietejada.com, where I post my upcoming comedy shows, my events. On OnlyFans. OnlyFans is like my Netflix. That's where you can catch my late night show. That's where you can catch my talk shows. I put stand-up on there. You know, everyone thinks OnlyFans, you just on there doing porn. But not all of us is doing porn on OnlyFans. And mine is honestly, it's like a Netflix with like some pics here and there. You know, I'm cute, so I'll be showing off. But
what's your Instagram?
Stephanie Tejada with 2 A's at the end.
Okay, so I follow you. I need you to follow me back so we can stay connected. Because I also have a clothing line. So once we get off, I want to get like I don't know if you have a PO box or like a business address. I can send you some things and we can
definitely.
Well, thank you so much again. I know you've been super busy, and I appreciate you for coming on another episode of A Moment with MESHA. So again, just thank you so much, and you guys, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.